In the heart of Northern California, a figure emerged from the shadows. A faceless menace, cold, calculating, and mysterious. Known only by the name he chose for himself, the Zodiac. Between the late 1960s and early 1970s, he would terrorize communities, leaving police and the public alike haunted by questions that, to this day, remain unanswered. This is the story of the Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac's first confirmed attack came on December 20th, 1968, on a quiet, dark road near Vallejo, California. Teenagers Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were out on a date, unaware of the car following close behind. The driver would soon exit his vehicle, approach their car, and in a shocking act of violence, take both their lives. Police, bewildered by the lack of evidence or motive, had no idea this was just the beginning. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror was not marked by frequency, but by psychological torment. In July of 1969, just 7 months after the first attack, another couple, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau, would be targeted while parked at Blue Rock Springs, Vallejo. The assailant's ruthlessness was unrelenting. He fired multiple shots, killing Ferrin and injuring Mageau, who would later provide one of the few descriptions of the Zodiac Killer. With little to go on, investigators' frustrations only grew, and then the letters arrived. From August 1969, newspapers across the region received letters from someone claiming responsibility for the attacks. "This is the Zodiac speaking," he wrote. Inside each letter was a cryptic puzzle, a cipher made up of seemingly random symbols and numbers. The Zodiac demanded the letters be published on the front page, promising more killings if his demands were ignored. It wasn't long before the Zodiac sent his most infamous message. On August 8, 1969, a high school teacher and his wife cracked one of the Zodiac's complex codes. The message read, "I like killing people because it is so much fun." Cold, chilling words that offered no clue to his identity. The Zodiac had turned his killings into a game, one that captivated and horrified the entire nation. By September 1969, the Zodiac struck again, this time at Lake Berryessa. In broad daylight, he ambushed Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, a young couple enjoying a lakeside picnic. Dressed in an ominous hooded costume with a white crosshair symbol, the Zodiac restrained them, then mercilessly stabbed them both. Shepard later succumbed to her wounds, while Hartnell survived to recount the horror. By October 1969, the Zodiac had taken yet another life. Taxi driver Paul Stein in San Francisco. The attack was bold, calculated, and left a rare clue: a bloody fingerprint. But even with physical evidence, the killer evaded capture. As days turned to years, his letters continued, each filled with threats, puzzles, and a symbol that would become synonymous with terror: the Zodiac's crosshair. Despite a dedicated task force and multiple theories, the Zodiac Killer remained elusive. Was he a military-trained cryptographer, a rogue academic obsessed with codes, or an ordinary man hiding in plain sight? Over the years, numerous suspects were considered, yet no arrest ever brought closure. The Zodiac's legacy lives on as one of America's most haunting unsolved cases. With advancements in DNA technology and renewed efforts, hope remains that one day the puzzle will be solved. But until that day, the Zodiac Killer's story endures, a reminder of fear, mystery, and the darkness that can lurk behind any face. Some mysteries aren't meant to be solved. The Zodiac Killer may be gone, but the chilling question remains: was he ever closer than we thought?